Sunday morning for me, and it is also Pride here in New York City. So that's what I'm going to start getting ready for. It is only 8 a.m. and the parade starts around noon, but I want to get a head start to my day. And there's a coffee shop I really want to try in the city. So I want to head over there, grab some coffee, enjoy maybe some breakfast, and then head over to the parade, meet up with some friends, and then see what else I get into after that. I'm all ready, so I'm about to head out, bring you guys along. Hi babes, I wanted to do a little check-in because I am now on week 3 of being in New York City. Next weekend, I can't believe will mark a month since I made the move over here. And I just want to catch you guys up on how everything's been, where my head's at, and how I'm feeling. Okay, so I think in the last vlog I mentioned that I had been having a very grief-heavy week, and or that I'd just been having a very hard time with being away from my family while experiencing this grief. So yeah, I think that is the hardest thing that I've experienced since being here, and I feel like I'm starting to find my ways of coping and finding things to kind of not numb out those feelings, because I don't want to numb them, I want to feel them, but I'm finding the ways to cope with it, allow myself to feel, but also allow myself to enjoy the journey of being here in a new city and in a city that I've always wanted to live in. So some of those things has been going to the gym almost on a daily, or just intentionally moving my body on a daily basis. The fact that my gym is in walking distance from my place has been nice, but also been good for keeping up this momentum of taking care of myself in certain ways, because I have no excuse. It's down the street. But also, I think something very helpful was that the gym that I started to go to has workout classes. So I have been doing as many of those as I can. This morning I just did Pilates. Yesterday I did an ab class, and then the day before that I did a stretch class. I did intentionally find a gym that had classes because I wanted to have something to kind of keep me coming back, even if I didn't feel like working out on certain days. So with having classes, I know that all I have to do is show up and I'm working out with other people, and it'll be very rewarding at the end. Then going consistently and going week after week to some of these classes, it's been nice because I'm starting to see the same faces over and over. So even if I'm not really talking to people much, it's still nice to like see a familiar face, say hi, and then same with an instructor, just starting to get to know people even in these ways. I have a few friends in the city, so I've been trying to spend some time with them whenever our schedules align. But I will say, with the state of grief that I'm in, I'm still having a hard time going out without the need to push myself. So I'm very much still having to give myself that extra push, and if a friend invites me out, I'm going out. I have also been looking for events to attend, even if it's by myself. And so one of those I brought you guys along to last week, and it was that play at the park. It was really beautiful, and you know, when I go and do these things alone beforehand, it's a bit of anxiety of just like showing up to a place alone. But then once you're there, you enjoy it and you leave and you're like, I'm very glad I did this. So I try to remind myself of that feeling, that I have never regretted going anywhere by myself. So I just gotta keep pushing myself to do it. And then the biggest thing has obviously been trying to stay connected with my support system, even if they are not here or in arm's reach, but doing so through phone calls and FaceTime. And I think the first 2 weeks were even very hard to talk to these people without feeling emotional and breaking down and just feeling all the feels of this change that I've put myself in. Also, me being my hyper independent self, I wasn't telling anybody how I was feeling. I wanted to feel everything on my own and then communicate once I was able to gather my thoughts on how I was feeling. And yeah, so last week I will say was my hardest week, and I think that I finally just had to tell somebody how I was feeling. So my best friend checks in on me from time to time, and I finally, was like, like this is somebody I feel safe with, that like I know will give me a level of comfort if I express my emotions. So I told her, and she just said everything that I needed to hear. But of course, like, one conversation wasn't gonna do it. Like, when I say like the grief is heavy, it's heavy. Like, all I could feel in the moment of the grief was obviously, all I could do was cry and feel a lot of regret in the moment of leaving my home and my family and everything I knew, because I feel like that is what was getting me by through these last few months since my mom has passed away. But at the same time, I know that it's too early to regret this decision, and I've had to remind myself that I've only committed to 6 months in the city. So I'm about to be 1 month in. That leaves 5 more months, and I know that time is going to go by so fast. So anyway, these are conversations I was having with my best friend, and then eventually reached out to my sister when I was like at my lowest point. So my sister, also gave me that reminder that she's there for me for whatever, and so is the rest of my support system, my family, and not to allow myself to shut out, which is something that I do very often. And I do get emotional talking about this because it's very hard to explain grief to somebody who has never experienced it. But if you have, you know how unpredictable it can be. Like one day you're fine, another day you're terrible. 1 hour, 1 minute you're fine, the other hour or minute you're in shambles again. And that is just how things have been since I got here. Like I mentioned, I am the type to kind of hold things in and not really talk about it until after I've like gathered my thoughts. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but the main reason I think I do it is because, one, I'm very hyper independent, always have been, but I think the biggest thing is I don't want to worry anybody. My family, I don't want to worry my family, my friends, anybody, who I have back home. And I think that, like, if I call and I cry, like, obviously you're gonna be worried. And I don't need people to worry. I just need people to be there for me and talk me through these rough patches. I think the reason why it's been so hard is, I think, like I mentioned already, was my family, my support system is what has helped me get through the last few months. And going from having that to nothing, like not at all, was a big change, and I'm sure like a shock to my nervous system. And the other part is that, like, as I'm doing my rounds throughout the week of calling my family and friends, like, my body can't help but feel that there is somebody missing. And that somebody is my mom. Like, there's one more person left that I still need to call and catch up with. My mom was somebody that I talked to, I would say, at least once a week. And at most 3 times a week. Even if we didn't talk on the phone, she would text me. She was a big TikTok user. She would send me videos. Like, we were just always in communication, always connected. If you watched my moving to New York announcement video, you know that last summer I was also here in New York City for 3 months. And for one of the weeks in those 3 months, my mom came out to visit, and that was her first time ever going to New York City. So it's really hard going from that to this. Not hearing from her, not being able to pick up the phone and call her and catch her up on things. Like, my body very much feels the missing presence of her. And while it's really great to have everybody else, like my family, my siblings, my dad, my best friends to talk to and like catch them up on life, it will never ever compare to talking to my mom. If you've ever lost somebody, I think you know that your loved ones have a funny way of showing up and showing you signs that they're still around. And I think my mom has been doing that lately, which you know, I'd like to believe, and I will believe it. One of those things was that last week when I was having my hardest week, I went out to grab coffee. I sat outside the shop, and as I was sitting out there, a car pulled up in front and was playing Cruisin' by Smokey Robinson, which was my mom's favorite song. It's a song that reminds me of her the most, and yeah, it just really made me feel connected to her. I loved that it wasn't just a car passing by, but that this truck quite literally parked in front of the shop, sat there, and played the entire song. Like, I don't know, it felt really special, very nice. I went home after that and cried, but I think it was like, obviously, like, it made me miss her, but it made me feel connected to her. Then another thing, I think was even more special was that, like I said, I've been feeling that missing presence of her, and not being able to like catch her up on life. So I don't know, something in me told me to go through my voicemails, and I clicked on the first one that I had from her. The first one I came across that was from her. And I click on it, and this is a voicemail from 2020. So 5 years ago. And in the voicemail, she says, "Hi Abby, I'm just calling to see how your new job is going." And so obviously, me being in a new chapter, in a new job, like, it just spoke to me, and, you know, getting emotional, but like just helped me feel like, you know, she's around, and she obviously is always watching over me and seeing the things that I'm living, seeing what I'm doing. So no, I don't necessarily need to call her, but like, because I know she is always watching, she knows what I got going on. But it was special to hear that in her voice, and yeah, I think that like helped that feeling of her missing presence. So anyway, all of these little signs have been very helpful, and I'm gonna keep asking for signs and accepting any sign I feel that is her, and really like trying to remember that I am living, not necessarily like with my mom's situation, but the fact that I'm in New York City working for a company that I've dreamt of working for, in city I've dreamt of living in. Like, just need to remind myself that I am living in a answered prayer, and that is very special and very lucky. And as hard as times get, like, I have people in my circle who care for me and who are there for me, and I know how to self-soothe. I know what is helpful for me to get through these things. And yeah, just have to take things day by day, only control the things that I have control over, and that's it. But yeah, that is like a big catch up on how things have been, how life's been looking, and quite honestly why I haven't been vlogging much, because it's just been hard to want to feel creative and want to be in front of the camera when you feel all of this. But today I'm feeling good. I have a day off. It is a long holiday weekend, so today's Friday. Like I said, I started off my day, went to Pilates, ran some errands, and now I'm home. Gonna make myself a nice brunch and some coffee, and then I'm thinking about possibly going to Soho, and check out the shops on Broadway. And by shops, I'm just talking about like Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and whatever else is around, because they always have the best things over there, and I've really been trying to find a cute pair of flats to wear, maybe some work clothes. So we'll see what we get into. It is currently 1 p.m. so I have quite a bit of free time on my plate today. I did book seats to go watch The Materialist later today at one of my favorite movie theaters, Alamo Drafthouse. So because they serve food there, my plan is to have dinner / movies there tonight. So I have a few hours before that, so I'll probably go check out some shops, walk around, explore the city, and I'll bring you guys along for that. I'm about to head out, but I wanted to show y'all the fit. Hi babes, I'm back home after being out and about. I just wanted to hop on here to catch you guys up and give you guys an update. I'm trying to get back into the habit of doing that because it's so different, you know, vlogging in LA versus here. I felt like in LA I was able to give updates in between activities because I would record in my car and I felt comfortable doing that, or I would come home and record. But being here, when I'm solely on the subway, I don't know if I mentioned that, but I didn't bring my car out here, so I'm mostly on the subway and on foot, and I'm still not quite comfortable talking on camera in public, which I'm trying to get over that fear. But until then, I'm gonna try to give updates when I get home, but sometimes I just be forgetting because I get home, I'm tired, I change out of my outside clothes and don't want to do anything. But anyway, so today was Sunday. I got up quite early. I think I was out of the house by 9 a.m. so not too early, but I was out of the house at 9 a.m. and I headed over to Williamsburg because my intention was to go check out this church. I just been feeling like my soul needs to go to church and, you know, just hear the word of God. And but for the last few weeks I've been saying I'm gonna go, and today it finally aligned for me to do it. I went, like I said, with the intention of going. I think the service started around 10 and I got there at 10:15, and I could not make out where the entrance was. There was no open doors, there was no signage, so my assumption is that I probably just got there too late, the doors closed, and I missed it. I missed the opportunity to go. So we're gonna try again next week. We're gonna try again next Sunday. Do some research, maybe find a couple other ones as backup. But regardless, I spent the morning out there, grabbed myself some coffee, and just hung out near Domino Park again, and you know, just enjoyed the sun. And then after that, I didn't show much, but I met up with some friends at the movie theater. We went to go watch Megan 2.0. So that was really nice, just to do something semi-social and get to see some friends. And then after that, I went to Ridgewood, which is the neighborhood that I lived in last summer. So it was really nice. I went to try to go thrifting, but it was beyond chaotic. Like, that place is already small, and there was bodies all through the store, so it was just really difficult. I kind of skimmed through and then just called it a day, came home. But yeah, now I'm here relaxing. It's Sunday afternoon, so I'm probably gonna start prepping things for the week for Monday, tomorrow, and that'll be it. Yeah, I've been enjoying trying to be out and about more and just exploring New York and getting to know the city. Not that long ago, I was just sharing how I've been having a very difficult time, mostly with my grief and just dealing with all the change that life has thrown at me. But I'm starting to feel like I'm seeing the light again. So hopefully I can bring you guys along to some more fun activities very soon. And yeah, just starting to enjoy being social again, starting to enjoy doing things on my own again, and I'm excited to embrace that. So yeah, I'm probably gonna close out the vlog here. So just wanted to share that, and I'll see you guys in the next one.